of course, there's a lot of frustration, primarily because we all thought that, once we got this pro-crypto president, number was going to go up, the war on crypto was going to be over. And I think that a lot of people really underestimated how laws and regulation and government intervention works. Now, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but in crypto, we're just really used to crazy, insane gains. And that happened really, really, really fast. And with that being said, a lot of us don't really have patience because we're used to these 4-year cycles. We're used to like numbers just going up crazy. We're used to making crazy gains and whatnot. And those of us who know how to take profit, know how to de-risk, know how to just do things, think, which all of you guys that watch the channel do that, we've done incredibly well. Like, we talk about de-risking a lot, we talk about moon bags, we talk about taking profit, we talk about accountability, and we talk about all those things. And the reason why is because crypto provides a level playing field for everyone. So I want to, still in Hawaii, we're actually leaving today, so I'm a little bit overstimulated because I got to pack and, travel with my mama with her foot and my baby. So we're going to go ahead and kind of talk about the current landscape of the market right now with the traditional market and with the crypto markets. And, just the reason why is I want to give you guys this information, and I want you to be able to come up with a solution or ideas or a narrative that makes sense for you and your family, because all of us are in crypto, literally every single one of you. We're here to make as much money as ethically and legally as possible to kind of get a step ahead because the economy is just ridiculous, okay? So let's talk about what's going on with the stock market, because S&P closed above 69,009 for the first time in history, which is absolutely amazing. Our President Trump posts, "Are you tired of winning yet?" which again is a little bit ridiculous. In addition to that, gold broke all-time high. Silver broke all-time highs. So precious metals and stocks and everything is just absolutely flying, but Bitcoin and crypto is not. It's actually lagging. And if you take a look at the chart, Bitcoin's what I think is trading at like $89,000 now. On Sunday, it did look like we did see some decent gains from alts as far as a lot of retesting the EMA 9, because in bearish markets or downturn markets, I prefer to use EMAs. They work really well as support and resistance for me because I'm a lazy trader and investor. But they started to make some headways. Unfortunately, it didn't sustain. And that's primarily because it's the end of the year. A lot of people are taking profit, and really just we don't have the liquidity. So really quick, if you don't know what liquidity is, I got you. Liquidity is money coming into the market. It's money propping up the market. It's money that's there acting as like a support area, okay? And when you have money coming in, number goes up. When you don't have money coming in, number goes down or it stays the same. And that's kind of what we're seeing right now. A lot of retail is exhausted, very, very, very exhausted. We have all these crypto spot ETFs that got approved, and we still have about 120 more. So we're seeing liquidity coming from institutions, but moral of the story is retail doesn't really have the capital right now, especially with the way the economy is. I've said time and time again since the panorama, we've been in a recession. So what's going to happen next, okay? My personal opinion, which I want to go ahead and read you some of the other stats that we're seeing from, in the news about the markets and all that type of stuff, then I'm going to give you guys my thought process. So according to the Cobb letter, US GDP, and again, you guys know how I feel about a lot of these reports, okay? Talking about money is not soul sucking. It's not at all, because I like to, the way that I learn is I read these articles, I regurgitate this information that makes in my own words, and then I'm helping other people to make sense of it, because it's incredibly complicated. What's soul-sucking to me, actually, is the current state of society, how there's not a lot of accountability with people, that people don't have a lot of personal accountability, people keeping their kids on their iPads, all that type of stuff. And Merry Christmas to everyone. I got you. Hold up. Let's go back to this, though. Anyways, and I'm also an entertainer. I love to entertain, and this is fun for me. I love getting on. I love talking to you guys. I love sharing with you guys. My personal relationships are not your guys' business at all. One of the things I do is I keep a lot of my personal relationships private. I try not to post things on the internet that will impact my daughter. I've got a 9-year-old daughter, so whether I'm married or not married or dating or whatever the issue is, it's not your business. It's just not. Good morning, Lawrence. All right. So according to the Cobb letter, U.S. GDP growth is at its strongest pace since 2023. And I think that a lot of these, I was Catholic. That's how I was brought up. Okay, let's get to the news, okay? We can do an AMA later. Now, a lot of these reports, in my personal opinion, I think that they're just fluff, because you can manipulate them all they want. CPI inflation unexpectedly fell at 2.7% last month, which not really that big of a deal because cost of goods and services are still high. Trump is appointing a new Fed chair who will cut rates. Absolutely love that. We need rates cuts. But I've said this and I've said it time again. Cutting rates is not necessarily going to decrease the cost of goods and services. I think what we really need to do is we need to create, kind of similar to FHA, what we need to do is create a program to where Americans that want to buy primary residences that they live in have a 2% interest rate. Okay? Now, Trump is appointing a new Fed chair who will cut rates. That's good because Powell's done an absolutely terrible job, in my personal opinion. Oil prices are down to their lowest level since 2021. Equity ETFs have attracted a record $1.4 trillion in 2025. Thank you so much, Joshua, for the super chat. Magnificent 7 AI investment is now above $600 billion a year, and there's a lot of positive momentum going into 2026. I'm not a big fan of AI, though, personally. I think that I'm not necessarily for regulation, but at the same time, it's getting abused, and it's just not good. So that's what the Cobb letter put out there, okay? We talked about gold hitting all-time high. It surpassed $4,500 for the first time since ever. Silver hits a new all-time high, all of that. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Lawrence, I appreciate it. And yeah, I'm a woman. Women yap. That's what we do. Especially Sicilian Italian women, we love to yap. It's our specialty. And men love that, by the way. If you're a woman and you can cook and you yap, men don't care. Anyways, so what's going on? Why are we not seeing positive price action with crypto yet? Well, we came from this era that was very predatory against crypto. A lot of companies had to leave the United States of America, and also to make sure to smash a like. So when we're seeing all these companies and all this innovation, all this building leave, people are kind of a little bit like, you know, they're a little bit nervous about kind of what's going on. Thank you so much, gorgeous Alexandra, for the $10 super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. So a lot of the innovation, a lot of building had to leave the United States of America because of the previous administration. I put a video out for you guys yesterday about all of the different actions that we saw under the previous administration. So a lot of those court cases went away, which is amazing. So people can kind of start to come back to America and build. Just because we have a pro-administration now doesn't mean that you're going to see number go up like crazy. That's just not how it works. You know, it takes time. Now, what we can look forward to in 2026, we have Slag from the CFTC. He's taken over Miss Caroline Pham as she transitions to MoonPay. We have we've got Hester Peirce, we've got Paul Atkins, who are very, very pro crypto over at the SEC. Paul Atkins, you know, I heard, I don't know if it's true or not, I didn't have a chance to research it, but allegedly the Clarity Act and there was another pro crypto act that's getting sent to Congress to get signed. Then in addition to that, we've got all these spot ETFs that are kind of waiting to get approved. Now, what does all of this mean? What this means is we're still trying to figure out like what we can and can't do in the United States of America, and that's going to take time. Now, one of the things that did happen though is that we saw a lot of liquidity leave the market due to the meme coins, and a lot of people will blame it on Solana. It's not a Solana issue. It's a you issue. It's a user issue. Now, with that being said, I know that there's lawsuits against Pump.Fun and Solana and all kinds of stuff. It's not that, because we've had a meme coin season on Ethereum, and that's, you know, there's people that are just better traders than others that kind of got inside information and whatnot, and that's what happens. So when you're trading memes, it's in and out. Now, with that being said, a lot of people are trying to pivot to prediction markets. That's a new narrative. We've seen that with Polygon. We've seen that, like, I want to say Gemini and Coinbase, I don't know about Kraken, but a lot of these other platforms, like even Google, they have prediction market, or MetaMask, I don't want to say Google, I don't know for sure. They've got prediction markets integrated. So that's where a lot of liquidity is going. And now the question becomes, is prediction markets more transparent than crypto? Because people are going to be able to make money with that. I'm also seeing a lot of prediction markets come out that are offering leverage, which again is insane. You guys should not be using leverage if you're not an experienced trader. So right now we're seeing this kind of shift, and I do think money will flow back into crypto, but it's going to take some time. Like, people don't want to necessarily just start building in the US if they're going to get slammed. That doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you do that? Just look at the Samurai Wallet devs. So again, I think what ended up, and then plus the big liquidation event that happened. So a lot of people just lost a lot of money. A lot of people got too excited. They got, you know, I bought the top on a couple things too. Thank you so much to Sugar Shane for the $100 super chat. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you again. Thank you for the $100 super chat. I greatly appreciate it. So thank you. I'm getting a little bit nervous because I'm overstimulated because you guys are being so awesome this morning. So with that being said, We're seeing a pivot from prediction markets or from crypto to prediction markets, especially with the younger generation. Now, is that a good or a bad thing? Well, prediction markets are really cool. And they're kind of gamified, and that's why a lot of people like crypto, because of the gamification. And with prediction markets, you can kind of see the odds. You know, it's a different type of play. Now, is it? Yeah, it is, but some of that can be said with crypto. So there is that. Now, so that's where a lot of the money is going into prediction markets. Crypto will eventually like pick up with that, in my opinion, and I think the privacy narrative will do incredibly well. But as of right now, money is getting put into everything else but crypto. And I think it's going to take some time for that to happen. Now, is this a Trump issue? No. Is this a Solana issue? No. This is just a liquidity issue. Could this have been from the great liquidation that we saw that happen on October 10th, where a lot of people lost a lot of money? Yeah, that's another thing too, is because I don't necessarily want to say crypto trading is rigged, because the stock market is just kind of an extension of it. But at the same time, a lot of people got wrecked, lost a lot of money, especially with meme coins. So people are kind of pivoting to prediction markets right now, in my opinion. And yeah, there's still a lot of crypto aspects on prediction markets. So what I'm thinking is going to happen, we're going to get all this stuff done. We're going to see hopefully some more bullish momentum in 2026. But realistically, at the end of the day, when we're in these downtrends with the market like this, your job is to protect your capital. And if you're somebody that doesn't necessarily know how to do that, you can go different places. Like I always recommend Dame. Dame.io, because they actually help people create custom Bitcoin and crypto portfolios. But moral of the story is, everything else is at all-time high. Bitcoin and crypto are kind of sluggish, and that's okay. Things are going to take time, and we have to be cautious. However, right now the narrative is with prediction markets. We're seeing a lot of people pivot over to that. Money will come back into crypto. It's just not going to happen right away. Again, we're still kind of waiting for all this the red tape issue to be solved and whatnot. So I wanted to come on and just kind of give my thoughts about that, talk to you about what's happening with the stock market, with precious metals, and just kind of what we're seeing happen with crypto. It's a big disappointment. But at the end of the day, things will be fine. Things will go back up. It's just going to take time. And the stuff that I want to, that I've been telling you guys to focus on, is cryptos that will become spot ETFs. That's where the liquidity is going to end up coming in from, in my personal opinion. They're going to be safer bets. But again, not financial advice. And again, thank you so much, Lawrence, for the $10 super chat. I want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas. It's Christmas Eve. I'm not a big Christmas person. You guys, those of you that have been following me for a while, you know my dad passed away on Christmas Eve when I was like 5th grade, around 10 years old. So I'm just not like a big old Grinch. But I have a daughter, and it's really important for me to, put on a happy face for her and stuff. And we're going to be traveling home today from gorgeous Hawaii. That's the view over here from our room, back to LA, and I'm very grateful. But big shout out to the channel members, to Mr. Dole. Sorry, Dale, I had some Dole pineapple whip yesterday. To Mr. Dale, to gorgeous Alexandra, to Mr. Lawrence, thank you so much. Joshua, let's see, Cherry. Someone else. Mr. Neil, Sugar Shane. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Aloha Jay. Oh, thank you so much, Aloha Jay. Appreciate it. I'm having a great time. Dude, my hair was super Sicilian like the other day when it got all frizzy and stuff. Absolutely love it. But anyways, you guys, Merry Christmas. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, happy holidays. I'm sending you and your families love and light, and I'll be back streaming. I've got video coming out for you guys at 2 p.m. PT today, and then 6 p.m. PT today, and then I'll be streaming all day tomorrow. My schedule will be back to normal. But sending you guys love and light. Merry Christmas. God bless America and whatnot, and God bless all of you. I appreciate y'all, and thank you so much, Cherry, for the $10 super chat. I appreciate it. And just love on your families, even though they're difficult. Some of us, we experience that, so just love on them as much as you can. But sending y'all love and light, and